else want to do it? One more minute.
1 minute.
John, guess who invited me to go golfing?
No,
Shit.
he didn't call me.
You want to go?
No, not unless he calls me.
He's playing up at Miami Valley now. Did you know that?
I know, yeah.
Says he loves it. It's better than Moraine. I guess there's probably more players up there.
Yeah. He's a mess.
He's in fifth gear all the time.
Hey, Jay,
Hello, Monica.
Hello.
can you pull the agenda up here? I don't have mine.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool, thanks. Good evening, Monica. How are you? Doing great. Just in time, that's right. All right, we ready to go, is that? Okay. All right, I'll call tonight's meeting to order for May 10th, or May 10th. Where am I at? We're somewhere in August. August 9th, 2023. Mr. Metz, when you're ready, call the roll.
Sam Cornwall.
Here.
Roger Daniel.
Here.
Greg Emmerich.
Here.
John Langhorn.
Here.
Paul Nenny.
Here.
Todd Moore.
Here.
Will Parsons.
Here.
You have quorum.
All right, thank you. We also have a new member with us tonight. Welcome.
Just where he stands up and says a few words.
Yeah, introduce yourself. No, no. Nice to meet you, though, Will.
You as well.
Okay, please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now I can try to get our correct dates in line. We had a chance to review our meeting minutes from May 10th. Any corrections, revisions for Mr. Metz? Okay, seeing none, do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Okay. Second, okay.
We've had a meeting since May 10th.
We have, yeah. Those are backdated for a while, so.
That's actually, the agenda up there is wrong. It's July 12th. But the meeting minutes that you received in the meeting packet are correct. So, Todd Moore,
Yes.
Paul Nenny,
I guess I should abstain since I wasn't here, I guess.
correct. John Langhorn,
Yes.
Greg Emmerich,
Yes.
Roger Daniel,
Yes.
Sam Cornwall. Okay. And before our first application night, we need to appoint a vice chairman.
Nominate Paul.
Second. Thank you.
Okay. Sam Cornwall. Well,
that requires-
Mr. Nenny, do you accept?
Sure.
Sam Cornwall,
Yes.
Roger Daniel,
Yes.
Greg Emmerich,
Yes.
John Langhorn,
Yes.
Paul Nenny,
Yes.
Todd Moore,
Yes.
Will Parsons.
Yes.
I'll have to stand up after Will does.
Okay, well, that brings us to our first case this evening. Before we get started, I'll go ahead and swear you in, Mr. Metz. You swear the testimony you're about to give the board is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do. So tonight before us, we have a request by applicant Mike Taylor with Pinnacle Architects on behalf of Adam Kushner for approval of a conditional use for the property located at 6730 Roosevelt Avenue. The property is Zone B2. The conditional use requested is to allow a drive-through audio equipment to be installed within the front yard where the Middletown Development Code states drive-through windows, signage, and any audio equipment located in the front yard shall only be permitted with approval as a conditional use. As you can see, illustrated with the arrow, this is the location of the building or the business, future business. The property is Zone B2 Community Business District. The purpose of the B2 Community Business District is to provide for areas of the city that will contain a wide variety of commercial and office uses to meet the needs of the city and region that require access to major arterial streets and are in close proximity to major residential neighborhoods. Also, I want to touch point that this property has 3 different front yards, one off of Roosevelt Avenue, one off of Town Boulevard, and then one again off of Roosevelt Boulevard. The comprehensive plan land use map designates this property as regional mixed use. Regional mixed use is defined as primarily commercial uses that cater to the I-75 traffic and the regional market, with secondary uses that include office, medical, service, and residential. Here's the site plan that was submitted by the applicant. Here is where the audio equipment will be. Let you look at that for a few seconds. Even though it's fairly centered within the development, it's still considered a front yard because it needs 35 feet from all front yards. Nearly impossible on the site. Here's the next site plan indicating the landscaping plan as well. Please stop me if you have any questions. Here's the first imagery of, or elevation of the site. The review criteria for conditional use approval. Decisions on a conditional use of application shall be based on consideration of the following review criteria. All conditional uses shall be subject to review under the criteria of this section as applicable and may be subject to additional use-specific standards. The proposed conditional use is established as an allowed conditional use in the applicable zoning district. The proposed use is consistent with the spirit, purpose, and intent of the master plan and the general purpose of this code. The proposed use complies with any use-specific standards as may be established for the use. Any building or structure constructed, reconstructed, or altered as part of the conditional use in a residential zoning district shall, to the maximum extent feasible, maintain the exterior appearance of residential buildings of the type otherwise permitted, and shall have suitable landscaping, screening, and fencing wherever deemed necessary by the Planning Commission. The proposed use will comply with all applicable development standards, except as specifically altered by the Planning Commission in the approved conditional use. The proposed use will be harmonious with the existing or intended character of the general vicinity, and that such use will not change the essential character of the same area. The proposed use will not involve uses, activities, processes, materials, equipment, and conditions of operation that will be detrimental to any person's property or the general welfare by reason of excessive production of traffic noise, smoke, fumes, glare, or odors. The circulation on and access to the property shall be so designed as not to create an interference with traffic on surrounding public thoroughfares. The design of the building, structures, and site will not result in the destruction, loss, or damage of a natural, scenic, or historic feature of major importance. The proposed use will not impede the normal or orderly development and improvement of the surrounding property for uses permitted in the district. Wherever no specific areas, frontage, height, or setback requirements are specified in the provision for a specific conditional uses, then such use shall be subject to the site development standards for the applicable zoning district. The additional criteria and conditions. Planning Commission shall be authorized to waive or modify requirements that apply to the conditional use as may be necessary to achieve compatible development with adjacent land areas, as well as the interest of the community in general. If the Planning Commission finds that such waiver or modification will further the protection of the general welfare, protect individual property rights, ensure that the property, and ensure that the conditional use will meet the intent and purposes of this code. The Planning Commission may also impose additional conditions, guarantees, and safeguards as it deems necessary to protect the general welfare and individual property rights and ensure that the conditional use will meet the intent and purposes of this code. The applicant is present, and that ends my staff report.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Metz before we open the public hearing? No? Okay. This is a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak in favor, please come forward. I'll swear you in. Please state your name and address for the record.
Mike Taylor, Vice President, Pinnacle Architects, 480 Vantage Point, Miamisburg.
Thank you. You swear the testimony you're about to give to the board is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Metz, could we go back to that site plan, please? First of all, thank you for coming out tonight for this, our one case, I guess. Want to thank Mr. Metz as item number one, because this little project got to be very complicated. By the zoning code, we had a few variances for setbacks. As he said, we have 3 front yards. When you set back 35 feet on all sides, we had a little sliver of a triangle to build on. You could build about a 300 square foot building right there. So we thanked Chairperson and the BZA last week. We were here to get approvals for setbacks for both the building from 122 and for the drive aisle next to 122. They were within setbacks. Otherwise, under B2 zoning district, this is a permitted use, straight permitted. We could have built it. It's no problems other than setbacks. And then we found out with Mr. Metz's help that unfortunately the drive board and the speaker can't be within the front yard setback. Not sure why, but in Middletown, in a business zoning district, we have a 35-foot front yard setback, which is pretty large. That board right now is 27 feet, so we're off by 8 feet. Another thing to consider, as you see Roosevelt Avenue curving, had our property line curved with Roosevelt Avenue, which is typical in most city properties. I imagine when Culbertson Farm was sold and this was developed as Sit-Fed Federal, that Roosevelt Avenue probably wasn't there. I know Town Boulevard certainly wasn't there. But had that property line gone down, we wouldn't even be asking for a variance now, because from our speaker board to Roosevelt, if you would go back 5 feet like we're set back over here, we'd be 40 feet to 43 feet back. Wouldn't even need variance. So it's definitely a unique site. Another issue, I was trying to think, why would the code not allow a speaker system within a front yard setback? I assume it's because of noise pollution, especially, like on Verity Parkway, some of those with the houses behind it. In this case, the nearest building from that speaker is the Olive Garden, and it's 190 feet away to the south, and it's probably 30 feet in elevation difference. So whatever sound's coming out of that's going to be going over your head, 25 feet. To the north, we have, I think it's 9 lanes, 122 at that point. We have 7 lanes at Town Boulevard, and luckily Roosevelt Avenue, for now, is super quiet and only 2 lanes. So it actually is a very tough site, but it works really well for this project. And that's pretty much it. I think that's the only item we need that creates a conditional use, is the placement of that. So I'm here for any questions you might have from the owner, but that's the case. And I will tell you, drawings have been started already. The owner has already got an agreement with Starbucks. As soon as we can get the drawings done with your approval tonight, we will be going as fast as we can to get this thing built, after we get our building permit.
On this drawing here that we're looking at,
Yes.
I'm just curious about the traffic flow.
Uh-huh.
Like car number 1, where does car number 1 go to get out? They have to go up to the top and
It goes up the top and then
straight
out.
down,
Yeah.
out?
Yeah.
So the one entrance, that's an entrance and exit both?
Yeah, and it's there now. That's existing now if you go
Right.
out there.
And I guess they place their orders when they first come in, they get in, go to the one side or the other?
No. There's on each line, there's like a menu board But you don't place your order until you get up to number 8 there. That's the actual order board, and
So why the 2 lanes, just to accommodate traffic?
get enough, to get enough stack space, queuing space.
If you didn't have that, I guess you could be backed out to the road.
You could. We don't like that for
Oh,
many reasons. You
probably
don't
don't
either. We're only required to have 6 cars by Middletown zoning code and I think to the board, or maybe queuing line, but we far met that. We're trying to meet Starbucks requirements.
oh, I see. I see where you place your order now.
And this is it's a newer concept for them. It is a prototype for that 1-story, more contemporary look with a lot of canopies in it. You can only drive through and pick up. There's just a tiny little entry vestibule almost where you can pick up, but most people will be nowadays order on the app on their phone, so they're able to prepare the coffee and the drinks, and when they get there, they theoretically are done. It should make it queue through a little faster.
So this particular layout has never been tried before, with the 2 going into 1?
It's been tried.
I guess
but-
people are conscientious of who goes next?
Yeah. But this one, the look of it is one of the first in the United States. They have changed their image a little bit.
I just personally worry about the traffic flow coming in, getting into the building or to the parking lot. So when you exit, you're having to, car 1's gonna have to loop around.
Yeah, you come up and come out.
Right out from the.
Yeah.
Here's the pointer.
Oh, thank you.
And you think holding 16 cars is enough queue space?
For Starbucks, they like to see it was like 12 or 13 in their standards.
Well, the ones I see seem to have more than 16. It's good for Starbucks. I think they're going to be out on Roosevelt.
Well, the other good thing is, I mean, Roosevelt through here is, like I say, it's pretty sparse right now, other than people coming out of Olive Garden. But
The stacking lanes do exceed the Middletown Development Code. I believe he only has to have 8 for this site, and they almost double it.
Squeezing it in there. Good for you.
it definitely is. I think the other good thing is the owner of this project also now owns the white office building.
Okay,
And
right,
he's-
from John? He bought it from John
Beagle.
Beagle?
Yeah,
Well, and
Well-
Rose Morgan.
Yeah, John Beagle.
I forget the name of their company. It's on the
T.D.
sign.
Morgan. Yeah.
Well, it's called 6730 Roosevelt was the name of the corporation.
Oh, okay.
That was the name of the corporation.
Ah,
Then S-
it's Cameras Now or
S-
something. Is that one of the owners?
Is
I
that
think.
That was John Beagle's business. Or it is. So I used to have an
CFR, rent a
office in
computer?
Brooklyn.
He's still in there too.
Yeah, I think he probably is. They got a lot of bit, yeah.
Well, I
You're
certainly know.
taking down the parking garage and all that?
No. That's another thing. Not that we're here to talk about it, but so we wouldn't have a variance. Parking garage entrance is there.
Right there, okay.
There's something like 31 spaces under there. 9 of them are going to be for Starbucks employees. So even though it looks like there's not very many spots out here, when they don't encourage people to park there. They'd rather have them do the app and then just drive to and pick it up. But
So if somebody
do
wants to
both.
park and walk into Starbucks, they can do that?
yeah, and these 3 and these 5 or 6, and then
Okay, I see it.
they'll just walk into that vestibule and out. But we're for you tonight because of that signboard and the message board.
Sign staying there, that's there now?
That's up for discussion still. The owner would like to keep that. because and repurpose it and make it look like the new building look, which we're working on,
Yeah.
because that would save a ton of money, but if not, we'll be back to BZA if we modify it. I doubt we'll do much to it, other than make it look nice. Now it's very outdated.
Okay. Any other questions?
For me.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seeing no one else to speak in opposition or in favor, we'll now close the public hearing. We'll ask for staff recommendation.
Based on the staff report provided, staff recommends the approval of the conditional use application to allow for the drive-through audio equipment to be installed within the front yard.
Any questions, concerns? One thing I wanted to ask is if we could go back to the review criteria, just to make sure that we state that for the record. I was looking at number 2 and 6. Certainly open if there's other recommendations there as well, but we wanted to have something in the record for the review criteria.
Fits, right? You're saying it fits?
I was just raising that as far as the, if approval, 2 and 6 certainly would support approval.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Any concerns, any questions? Are we ready to call for a motion?
Motion, move that we vote to approve.
Second.
Okay.
Will Parsons?
Yes.
Todd Moore?
Yes.
Paul Nini?
Yes.
John Langhorn?
Yes.
Greg Emmerich?
Yes.
Roger Dino?
Yes.
Sam Cornwall?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Take care.
At this current time, we do not have any new or old business.
All right. Once again, just want to welcome Will. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Any other new or old business
I
to
thought
share?
Will did really well in the first meeting.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you what, this will be the easiest meeting you ever went to.
Thank you for giving me a softball to start.
I think he needed a meeting like my first one.
Yeah, that was right.
That was not fun.
Trial by fire. So
Was
that.
that the hospital meeting?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
Mine was hospital.
All right. Well, that brings us to adjournment. All those in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right.
Todd, you did a wonderful job. at the meeting as well.
I was gonna try and hang a requirement that they had to bring in a Chick-fil-A too.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Where's Chick-fil-A?
We keep waiting.
That would have been a perfect place for Chick-fil-A.
I saw her, that little